The good news keeps coming this offseason. First, this morning we find out that Lane Johnson has received a one-year extension on his contract worth nearly $33.5 million. Woo! The deal comes with $30 million guaranteed, keeps him with the Eagles through the 2026 season. Also, it saves the Birds money now by lowering Lane's cap hit for this season by nearly $10 million. Then Howie Roseman turned around and used some of that newfound cap space on safety Terrell Edmonds. The former Steeler signs a one-year deal with the Eagles. He was first-round pick in 2018. His brother Tremaine, who just signed with the Bears, also a first-rounder in 2018. Edmonds has started 75 games over 5 seasons and has 5 career interceptions. Let's everybody take a knee and bring it in. Welcome to Birds Huddle, powered by our friends at PointsBet. Here's Barrett Brooks, Reuben Frank. I'm Michael Barkan. Howie Roseman never rests, does he, Barrett?
No, I mean, he
never
can't rest.
rests.
He can't rest. He's always trying to make this roster as good as he can. I appreciate all this. I mean, he's doing it too fast right now. I'm used to him signing guys later on. I know the roster's not complete yet, but, hey, keep on doing what you're doing, Howie.
Yeah, we keep saying it's only March. It's only March, but stuff gets done in March, doesn't it?
Well, the thing you like is that he's signed guys at every position. So he's got everything covered. He signed a linebacker, a running back. He signed a safety, a couple safeties. So he signed a quarterback. So he has the luxury of going. Now, look, I don't know if all these guys are going to start or make the team even. They won't.
Right.
But he's got everything covered going into the draft, so he doesn't have to sit there and reach for a position because he's got a live body at every spot.
By what percent will the roster change by opening day? How much different do you think the depth chart will look opening day compared to right now?
Knowing Howie significantly, there'll be 2 or 3 starter-type guys that haven't even been on the radar. Right? Guys who get cut, guys who don't make the team, practice squad guys he'll find guys. That's what he does. You know what Howie said at the Combine? He said the offseason doesn't stop until the trade deadline.
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. He can still trade guys also, so he can trade to go get guys. Who did he trade? The kid from the Titans. Traded him to go get CJ, right? So he's definitely, adept at doing all those type of things. And I mean, that's why he's, what was it, GM of the year or executive of the year? That's why he's willing to go pull the trigger wherever it needs to be pulled.
Which brings us to our 3-point stance. Terrell Edmonds is a fine replacement at safety. That is stance number 1. Barrett, that's your stance.
No question. We're talking about aggressive safety. This guy's a day 1 starter. He's probably the best out of the bunch of the safeties left in free agency. I can't believe that Steelers let him go. I said yesterday that he was going to be a guy that they're going to sign back because, he's a pretty good player for them. A first-round pick for this team. They don't usually let first-rounders go. So for them to pick up Terrell Edmonds is really crazy to me. I wonder what happened that, made that relationship, fall apart, that they would let this guy go. He starred for him since he got drafted in the first round. I do know he has some ties with Devontae Smith, because he was at the charity softball game that I played in with these guys. I got to sit down and talk to him and really, pick his brain a little bit. This is a good kid. He's a smart kid. He understands how to play this game. He's going to reap the benefits of being in a city like this in which they're going to grasp hold of him, and he might be one of the guys, you see become an Eagle for life, man.
Yeah, well, with all we just said, Reuben, chances that he's penciled in as a starter day 1.
Yeah, he's a starter. Out of all these guys, he's the most likely to be a starter. The guy's been a starter for 5 years, but I think we have to be careful. And look, he did grade higher than CJ in every category, according to Pro Football Focus. But I think we have to be careful. He's not CJ. He's got 5 picks. CJ had 6 in 12 games this year. So he does some different things than CJ. I think he's a physical player. He's a better tackler. But as far as playmaking, it's a loss. But he's a solid guy.
Plays great, he plays great in the middle. He's really good and adept at playing zone coverage, at that, inside the box. And one of the things he does do, you can blitz him, and he can also cover guys in the middle of the field. So, I like this pickup.
Stance number 2 for the gentleman. The Eagles' defense looks decent on paper. Decent or good?
I think they can go in and play right now. I think at this point they've got enough to field a team that could be very competitive on the defensive side of the ball. All three levels, they've taken somebody and brought somebody in that could play. At this point, Nakobe Dean, he's penciled as a starter, but I can see, Nicholas Morrow, he's going to have to compete for this position. He has guys behind him that can play, young guys. So it's not penciled in that he's already going to be a starter, but, I like what they have so far right now from a defensive standpoint.
It doesn't look like a drop-off, that's for sure, Ruben.
Well, it is. It is a drop-off. This was a Super Bowl defense. This is the #2 defense in the league last year, #1 pass defense, and there's a lot of question marks there. And Jordan Davis and Nakobe are guys that you would expect, you would hope would take that next step. But there's some guys here, there are question marks, and guys who, look, we knew what TJ could do. Hargrave, Epps, CJ. We've seen these guys play at a high level, at a championship level. A lot of question marks on this defense. Potentially, yes, they can be very good. And I like that they still have all their edge rushers.
Right.
They have that whole group back. And that's really what made this a great defense last year, was the pressure they got. So they still have Sweat, Reddick. They still have Barnett's coming back. BG is back. So they have that intact. But there's still some questions in the rest of the group.
Are you lacking confidence in Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis?
No, we just don't know. I've seen Jordan Davis enough to think he's going to be a good player.
Yeah,
I believe in Jordan Davis, but we haven't seen Nakobe. He's not the biggest guy. He's like 215, 220. So let's see how he
Blankenship filled in admirably last year.
He did.
Well, those guys are small.
He started
man.
4 games.
Yeah.
The linebackers are small. We have safeties bigger than our linebackers, or same size as our linebackers. Will they be able to stop the run? We'll see. But at the end of the day, this team, I think, can fill the defense right now and play pretty well.
Stance number 3, pave the lane to the Hall of Fame. Lane Johnson going to end up in Canton when it's all said and done. Rube?
He's got a shot, and he's kind of like Kelsey in that he started late, accumulating the Pro Bowls and All-Pros. I think the 2 suspensions didn't help him as far as his reputation around the league.
Right.
That's why he wasn't making the Pro Bowl. But when you look at what he's done the last few years, he's now at the point like Kelsey where he's going to make All-Pro every year. And it's funny, we were joking in Arizona Super Bowl week about how the injury he played with really gave him more notoriety league-wide than anything he's ever done before, because going out there and playing with that injury and playing at a high level, playing really well with a torn adductor, that's a crazy thing. So I think he's got a shot. We just looked this up. Everyone who's made 4 All-Pros, every offensive tackle ever who's made 4 All-Pros has made the Hall of Fame.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So I think if he gets 2 more, which I wouldn't count him out, I think he's got a real chance. And the notion of Kelsey and Lane, imagine 2 offensive linemen going to the Hall of Fame from the same group would be incredible.
But it might be 3.
Yeah.
Jason Peters was about in this group too, so
he's a lock.
Yeah, he learned it right here. He went to Stalin University too. Lane Johnson at this point is the best offensive tackle in the league, bar none. There was some discrepancies as far as Williams being the best offensive tackle. No, it's Lane Johnson. He has not given up a sack or hit on a quarterback in 2 years. 2 years. Come on, man.
Still a torn adductor. Any doubt that he recovers from that by opening day?
He played without one, so
I know,
now that they've
I know.
reattached it, he's going to be even better, So
that's a good point by you, except it was a Super Bowl. It's a little different if you're playing week 1. Okay, but that's a good point. Here's the playbook presented by your Philadelphia area Cadillac dealers, clearing the way for a Hertz extension. How much does Lane Johnson's new deal open up money for the quarterback's big payday? We'll run down the week in rumors, including some big-name running backs whose names are attached to the Eagles. Plus, Penn State holds its pro day. Might Joey Porter Jr. be on the Eagles' radar come draft day? We'll let you in on that as we continue Birds Huddle, driven by PointsBet.
Birds Huddle is powered by PointsBet. It's time to get your swagger back with PointsBet Sportsbook. PointsBet, your move.